The 1920s, also known as the Jazz Age or the Roaring Twenties, were a time of prosperity for the United States. It had just emerged victorious from World War I, and people everywhere were celebrating their newfound wealth. They could afford to go out to eat or to go dancing in the evening. Swing dancing became popular as new styles of music arose, including blues, soul, and jazz, results of a strong black culture. The most famous jazz musician of the time was black trumpet player Louis Armstrong. Prosperity, of course, also meant spare money to buy toys to please, or spoil, the children. In 1919, the 18th Amendment was passed prohibiting the sale of liquor. The notorious gangster Al Capone and other bootleggers illegally transported bottles and barrels of liquor to speakeasies, where people who were against prohibition secretly drank it. However, some bootleggers, including Al Capone, were eventually caught, perhaps due to their imprudence in trying to transport too much liquor while carrying explosive weapons. Although gangsters may not have been up with the times, the majority of the population was. With more time on their hands, people flocked to movie theaters as Hollywood produced the world's first talking picture. Many others stayed home reading their favorite post-World War I novels or gathering around their family radios to listen to their favorite broadcasts or jingles.
Hi-ho, hey, hey, chew your little troubles away. Hi-ho, hey, hey, chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America is asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all. On a highway or a road along a levee.
There were also advancements in aviation. In 1927, Charles Lindbergh made the first solo non-stop transatlantic flight, becoming an international hero overnight. Amelia Earhart set new women's records and even attempted to circumnavigate the globe by air, but she disappeared somewhere over the Pacific Ocean. Many who accepted her disappearance believed her plane had crashed and sunk down into the sea. On October 29, 1929, a day known as Black Tuesday, everything sank down, especially the stock market. Many people had overspeculated and bought stocks on margin, that is, with money that was only 10% their own. They began to default on loans, causing stockbrokers to lose money. As people noticed the stock market falling, they hurried to sell their stocks, making stocks fall even faster. The Great Depression had started. Farmers and sharecroppers were also having trouble. Overproduction and overfarming due to machinery resulted in low profits and barren land. At the same time, there was a horrible drought which caused giant dust storms in the Great Plains. Since the land was no longer fertile, many farming families lost their only source of income and their farms were foreclosed.
Milk was selling for 5 cents a quart. We had borrowed money in the spring as farmers do, but we couldn't pay it back, so they took the cows.
Thousands of evicted farmers packed their belongings and families into rickety trucks to migrate west, where there was supposedly plenty of work. Along the way, they lived in poverty, establishing shanty towns called Hoovervilles, so called because the migrants blamed President Hoover for the Depression. As they neared California, some of the migrants, often derogatorily called Okies because many were from Oklahoma, found work picking fruit. However, since so many migrants were desperate for work, wages were extremely low. In John Steinbeck's Great Depression novel The Grapes of Wrath, the sharecropping Joad family would often pick fruit all day and still hardly have enough money to feed themselves. The United States wasn't the only country hit by the Great Depression. Families had similar problems throughout the world.
It got 100% worse. I polished shoes. I sold the bread my mother baked. When I was 11, I went into the mines. They paid me 20 cents a day. My mother had 5 mouths to feed. The rations were very small. I remember feeling hollow, looking for more to eat.
Oh, the situation was tight. In the 1930s, it was very difficult. People worked a whole day in the orchard and got paid 25 cents.
Every town and city in the nation was having economic problems. When farmers and investors defaulted on loans, small banks failed. Soon, rumors that the large banks were near bankruptcy as well resulted in bank runs. Everyone rushed to get their money out before the banks failed, ironically causing the banks to fail. By 1933, over a third of the nation's banks were bankrupt.
My uncle's life was changed by bank failure. My mother's life was changed by all of it. When the bank closed, you lost everything you had. It was really scary.
I am sorry, we're all out of money here at the bank.
I learned later that my mother was so depressed and desperate that she considered committing suicide.
In fact, many people who had lost everything did commit suicide. When Franklin Delano Roosevelt was elected president in 1932, many people believed his proposed New Deal programs would solve the nation's problems. And those who at first doubted him soon grew to love his optimistic efforts.
When Roosevelt was elected, my mother was disappointed. But after a year or two, she began to think it was wonderful. All the programs he put in, like Social Security and what you kids call it these days, began to make a big difference.
For many, President FDR symbolized hope. Although many economists today are skeptical about the impact of his New Deal programs, the programs at least improved conditions until the early 1940s, when World War II stimulated the economy by creating thousands of new jobs. And the cycle started all over again.
When you've got a job to do, reach for something good to chew. Chewing helps you stand the pace, anytime and any place. So, hi-ho, hey, hey, chew your little troubles away. Hi-ho, hey, hey, chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum. Work goes faster, smoother too. Life seems brighter when you chew. Hi-ho, hey, hey, chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
Floors, doors, walls, halls, white sidewall tires and old golf balls.
Sinks, stoves, bathtubs he'll do. He'll even help clean laundry too.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
Can he clean a kitchen sink?
Quicker than a wink.
Can he clean a window sash?
Faster than a flash.
Can he clean a dirty mirror?
He'll make it bright and clear.
Can he clean a diamond ring?
Mr. Clean cleans anything.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Southward or north, near place or far, there's a Chevrolet dealer for your Chevrolet car.
So make a date today to see the USA
And see it in your Chevrolet.